Okay, so we're into 7.4. We're still factoring trinomials today, factoring trinomials part 2. What's different about today compared to 7.3's problems?
They have a minus.
They all have a minus at the end. So we're always going to look at the last sign to tell us what we need to do with these problems. So on Friday, when these were pluses, the signs were always going to be the same as each other, as well as the same as the first sign. So today, that's out the window. What do you think is going to happen if it's all minuses at the end?
They're different.
They're all different. So you can pretty much take for granted on your homework paper, if you want to, grab a piece of paper, number 1 to, I don't know, 20, whatever, 30, whatever we're doing. You can pretty much 30 times go like this. Because all the signs are different. So it's kind of boring, but kind of easy. While you're at that, what else are you pretty much guaranteed that we were also guaranteed Friday? No real difference in this. The x's. The only way we're going to get these beginning x squareds is go x and x. So you can save yourself some bother and do that like a billion times. So when we go to unfoil this, which if that's a word, I don't even know, this has the same job. What were we doing Friday? What are we still doing today to make this? Multiply. We're still trying to multiply and think through our times tables about how to multiply and make that final number. But the difference is we're no longer going to add to make the middle like we did when the signs were the same. We're going to subtract to make the middle now that the signs are different. So we need to think up some stuff that multiplies to make, what multiplies to make 18? 6 and 3 does that.
9 and 2.
9 and 2 does that.
18 and 1.
18 and 1 do that. So we think up those combinations that could get to multiply to make 18. Only one of those is going to subtract the 3, which is 6 and 3. Unlike the previous lesson where you could just throw those numbers in wherever because everything was the same, you have to get the right number in the right slot. Does anybody who did this before have a memory, or anybody new have a guess as to how would you know which number goes with which slot?
Depends on what you subtract.
True.
Based on the thing in the first number.
Okay, this sign,
So it would be positive 3, negative 6.
yeah, this sign will take which of the numbers?
The bigger.
The bigger number. The first sign is going to dominate and take the bigger number. So with 6 and 3, if this is a minus, the minus takes the 6, the plus is stuck with the 3. If I switch this sign, now all of a sudden the plus is going to take
6.
the 6, and then the 3 gets left to the other one. Question about that first pair, which is really like the same problem. So same thing. We're committed to all the x's, we're committed to different signs, we're multiplying to 18, but we have to subtract to make 7. What pair of numbers can do that job?
9 and 2.
9 and 2 can do that job. In this case, the plus is going to take
The 9.
the 9. This first sign will always take the bigger number. So first sign takes the 9 here. It's the same problem here, but this time the minus takes
9.
the 9. That's always going to take the bigger number. Leave the 2's out of it. Question about that next pair, which is really the same problem twice, just with a slight change of sign. Okay. For this one, multiply to 18, but subtract to 17.
18 and 1.
18 and 1. Who's going where sign-wise?
18 is negative.
18 with the minus. That sign's going to take the bigger one, leaves us the 1 there. A different voice, we're multiplying to 20, we're subtracting to what invisible number? 1. So somebody multiply to 20, subtract the 1?
20 and 1.
No, that doesn't subtract the 1. Multiply to 20, but subtract the 1.
5 and 4.
5 and 4 will do it. And then how do we know who's where?
The 5 is positive.
5 is positive. This is a plus, so the plus is going to take the 5, that's going to take a 4. Question about that column of life? And we're going to have to silence you because you're the star of the show and clearly have it. Somebody else jump in on this one. What would be our number pair here? 10 and 2.
10's gonna be positive.
10's going to be positive. So plus takes the bigger 10, minus takes the 2. 10 and 2 is the only numbers that multiply to 20, subtract to 8, and now you're silent because I'm confident in you as well. Somebody here jump in. Number pair? 20 and 1. 20 and 1 multiply to 20, subtract to 19. Which one's going where?
Is the 20 positive?
The 20's going to go with that sign. So there and there. Anybody can talk. What's going to be different about these last two?
Why?
Y's. We're going to start with x's at the beginning, and we're going to go y's at the end. So I'll just throw the y's in now, but manage the numbers the same way we have been, but you're quieted again, as are you, and as are you. So we've got a new person. Number pair off of this 18 to get us that 3. What's up with that?
3 times 6.
3 and 6. 3 and 6 multiply to make that, and they subtract to make that. It's just a question of who should go where. Thought on that?
Does the 3 go with the minus?
3 will go with the
The
plus.
plus.
The minus, this sign will all, anybody can talk now, this sign will always take
The biggest
the
number.
biggest number. Whoever is in that position takes the biggest number. So here, plus took the bigger number, which took the 10. Then minus took the bigger number, that was the 20. Now it's minus's turn again to take the bigger 6. 3's just left out. Now let's get one last new voice to 24 to get us 5. So we're down to limited choices. Somebody that didn't play in the last 10 minutes with me.
8 and 3.
8 and 3 will do it. 8 and 3, multiply to 24, subtract to 5. Who's where?
The 8's in the
8's in the plus. So that, again, that first sign takes the bigger number, which is 8. 3 is left out. You get it? You're just being quiet. More quiet people. You get it? Just be quiet. Anybody not get it? Anybody want me to do more problems of it? Are we good? Where it becomes more of a challenge is on test day, where the questions all get jumbled together, and then you have to sort of sort them as you go. But what's happening today, guaranteed, every problem today ends with minus, which means every problem has signs that are different, which means you subtract to make that middle number, and then the first sign's job is hog off the bigger of the two numbers. Where we are homework on this, 284 is where we're living. We're going to go 1 to 24. And then skip a few and go to 38. The only difference on 38 is, let's say if I made this a 20, what would we have done here?
10.
10. Just cut it in half. Which means as the author of the problem, I can't just change this unless I change this too. That would have needed a 10 just to make the problem work. But I'd have to do a 20 and a 10 package, and then you'd have to recognize it's time for 10s in your answer. That's the only thing different really about 38 compared to the rest of its friends. That's it.